Welcome to Season 2, Episode 21 of the BRASH Sports Podcast, brought to you by Pyramid Schemes. Hey girl, do you want to be a hashtag boss babe, work from home, and make fistfuls of cash? All you have to do is fork over your life savings and round up all your high school friends on Facebook you haven't talked to in 10 years. You and your little army of wannabe influencers can easily make a fortune selling low-quality makeup, unhealthy health products, or who could forget about essential oils that have never once been essential in any capacity? Why buy things from a store when you can get quality products out of the trunk of a car owned by some woman named Deborah in a McDonald's parking lot? And when you do, be sure to use promo code BRASH650 to save 0%. Pyramid schemes, bankrupting yourself in the pursuit of a better life is the American dream, so sign on today, you pussy. All right, Brandon. It's divisional round weekend, buddy. We got a lot to recap from Wild Card. We've got tons of news out there, a lot to unpack this episode. So what are we getting into today, bud?
Absolutely, man. And this is kind of the welcome back episode because last week things did not go according to plan. You came prepared, I did not, and unbeknownst to me, the editors union, Josh, was still on strike, and they were not going to put that episode together and get it finalized so we could get it uploaded. So Season 2, Episode 20, chalk it up as another lost episode, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll get you caught up and with the cliff notes from that episode, and then we can move right along and further into these NFL playoffs and the breakdown.
All right.
But yeah, a lot of coffee. I've
Good,
been up for 6 hours now, so I'm bouncing off the walls over here, and we got a couple of headlines we're gonna get into when you're ready.
No, I'm as ready as I will ever be. I'm excited.
All right, my friend. Well, let's start off with a few coaching casualties. That there's of course been a lot of moves, mostly in the coordinator category, because these are the teams that need to justify holding on to their head coach when all the fans are just clamoring for them to start from scratch, get rid of the guy, empty the whole coaching room, and
so stupid.
But they have to have the scapegoat. So when it comes to the offensive coordinator being thrown under the bus, we, of course, have the Washington Commanders, the LA Chargers, the Baltimore Ravens, the Tennessee Titans, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That one was a bit of a shocker with Byron Leftwich getting the boot, and the New York Jets. So those teams currently looking for new OCs, but hanging on to their head man. The defensive coordinators that got the boot: Cleveland Browns, Miami Dolphins, and Vikings all part ways with their defensive coordinators. Not going to go into each individual guy and
situation.
No point. I mean, we're just getting everybody up to speed here. The head coaches to have been relieved of their duties thus far this offseason are, of course, Cliff Kingsbury for the Cardinals and Lovie Smith, which happened the day following their season finale. And, of course, the Panthers and Colts, they had fired their head coach mid-season. So a lot of moving parts. Not done yet. I'm sure we'll see some more after this week.
Yeah, there were a lot of head scratchers out there, but I mean, I think at the end of the day, if you're going to fire a coordinator, why not get rid of the head coach too? Just start from scratch with a whole new regime. It really doesn't make sense.
Has it ever worked? Has it ever worked, Josh, where the head coach stays and they bring in another coordinator and all of a sudden, hey, we fixed it? No, you gotta get rid of everybody and then start anew. Let a new coach come in and bring in his own guys. That's how
I'm sure that there has been times, but I think more often than not, whole new regime, start from scratch, restart the whole thing, and I don't know. These are franchises that are historically bad or at least in recent memory have been really bad. And shocker that they're
Except for the
continuing to make
Ravens.
bad.
It's unlike the Baltimore Ravens to do something
Very
like
true.
that.
They're usually a very solid franchise, but I trust that they make the right move, right? Like it's very easy to point at the Browns and go, "Well, that was dumb," because it's the Browns. And when it's the
Yeah.
Ravens, you kind of give them a little leeway and go, "Well, they probably knew something was up." So, yeah, a lot of moving parts in this offseason for coordinators and head coaches. It'll be interesting to see how it all unfolds.
Yeah, I just heard today that the Redskins are looking at the assistant head coach for the LA Rams, apparently. Don't know his name, something Brown or something, but
Something Brown, something.
well, no, I don't nobody knows the fucking assistant coach for all the teams, but here's what I do like about that, because of course I'm hoping we bring in that Bobby Slowick guy from the 49ers no one
Yep.
knows about, and I didn't know about, honestly, till I did a little research, but that's because he is coming out of that Kyle Shanahan tree, and
Yep.
he's kind of his right-hand man, and that's how you do it. You do what the Giants do. You steal, parts from a really
Yep.
successful team, and
100%.
yeah. So, but
The the only
bringing a
time
guy,
that the only time that hasn't really worked for whatever reason is Bill Belichick. Like his coaching tree has been pretty bad. Like people come out of Belichick's system and
that's true.
fail.
That's true.
So I don't know what that's all about, but yeah, Kyle Shanahan. Anytime you can poach what they're doing, that's a solid play.
And and same with Sean McVay. I mean, taking away his
Oh
assistant,
yeah,
his
absolutely.
right hand guy. Of course, Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay will probably tell them, "Don't go to
Yeah,
Washington, you
they know
idiot."
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, they know better.
But hey, money talks. So, we'll see what they end up doing there. But Commanders not in the playoffs, but they still are making the news, Josh, because they have opened the NFL's first ever in-stadium sports book. That's right. That's the world we're living in now.
Love it.
Yesterday, have partnered rather with Fanatics Sportsbook, and they opened up that sportsbook in FedEx Field. No bets can be placed during home games. That's kind of weird. You'd think there would be a lot of activity during the
Yeah,
home games.
that would be the whole point to me.
I don't get it. But this is a 5-year license they have. The lease on that pathetic excuse for an NFL stadium runs through 2027. So, I mean, hopefully they're not there that long. I'm hoping when the new ownership comes in sooner rather than later that they'll already be able to start making moves to get the
Yeah.
The Redskins aren't the first one. The Cardinals actually opened a sports book next to their stadium, which
Okay.
I can't think of what it's called. It's the fuck is it called? God damn
I
it.
don't know. It's in
Anywho,
Glendale, Arizona. It
there you
was
go.
University of Phoenix, but I think they changed names a couple years ago.
So I think this is the beginning of the new norm, right? I mean, we're probably going to be seeing this spread all throughout the NFL and
Yeah.
really all throughout professional sports.
Yeah, why not?
I think Verizon Center is already doing something like this. Nats Park is talking about doing something like this. So, why not? Let them bet. Let the people gamble.
Let the people gamble. That's always been my motto. That's the platform I'm going to run on when I run for president.
Mm-hmm.
Let the people gamble. Give me degeneracy or give me death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Shaking the fist, Josh. Fight the good fight. Well, in some somber news, this is just a weird story I wanted to throw out there and just wanted to get your thoughts on. This is uh, Alabama men's basketball college player Darius Miles. He has been charged with capital murder, Josh, in connection with a shooting near campus that killed a 23-year-old woman, Jamia Harris. I mean, really sad, man. Miles, he's a junior reserve forward from DC. Of course, no longer on the team.
I would hope
Duh.
not.
And it's a capital murder charge because he shot into a vehicle. I don't quite
Okay.
understand the how that works. Like, so if they were just walking on the sidewalk and you shoot them, that's not. But if they're in a car, that's capital murder. Makes no sense. But
I thought it was capital murder because he's from DC.
there you go. That's what it
I think
is.
that's it. Yeah.
If you're from DC and you go to Alabama and shoot somebody on
It's capital
campus,
murder.
it's capital
Yeah.
murder. But no, dude, I mean, just what a fucking weird story. I mean, this kid, he's got the fucking, his whole life ahead of him. He's on the right track playing, for, the Alabama college team. I mean,
Who's very good this year, by the
yeah,
way.
they're going to the dance in March. I mean, it's and then but I mean, he just decided instead of going to the NBA, he wants to go to prisons.
Yeah. Hey,
So
man,
that's where he's going.
you got a free place to live. You don't pay rent. You got 3 meals a day. A lot of activity in the showers. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. So I don't know. This is the first I'm hearing of this
Bummer.
story.
Oh, you didn't hear about this before? Oh wow,
No.
okay. I
Nope.
mean,
What I did was I bought a big rock and I went underneath it, and I've been under a rock for a while now. I just crawled out, got showered up, threw my Danny Dimes shirt on for the Giants, and now I'm here.
well,
So
this happened almost a week ago. So I mean,
yeah,
and
no, I know. I've been
ESPN
under
being
that rock.
ESPN, they talked about it for like a day, maybe a day and a half, and then they just buried the story. So
They went right back to talking about Patrick Mahomes and LeBron James.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
All right, so those are the kept it short with the
That's
headlines.
what's happening in the sports world.
That's it. I mean,
People getting fired, people getting murdered.
Firing from all angles. Oh my god.
Wow.
So
Okay.
with episode 20 of season 2 being a lost episode, I figured we'd quickly try to recap for those that are just pissed off that they won't get to view it or listen to it. Oh man, I know. I mean, hey, don't blame us. Blame the editors union, okay?
Yeah,
those
fair.
selfish pricks. It took us one extra week to finally reach a deal with them, but god damn it. I mean, they're not the ones putting the butts in the damn seats, okay?
No, there's some greedy bastards, that's for sure.
We filled out our playoff brackets in our previous episode. In the wild card, we both picked the Chargers to beat the Jaguars, the Bucks to beat the Cowboys. I picked the Vikings to beat the Giants. So I went 3-3. You went 4-2. And our Super Bowl predictions, I had the Bills to face the Eagles to beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl. You, on the other hand, went a different route. You went with the Chiefs to beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl. Both would be good games. Of course, I don't want the Eagles anywhere near the Super Bowl, but
No.
we're not picking with our hearts here. That might change, though. That might change. That might change because one of us still has a team in the playoffs fighting for
in
it.
the game.
Only a couple wins away from a Super Bowl appearance. So, if it changes, it changes. But we also went through our bold predictions a year ago and our divisional winners, and nobody gives a shit. Okay. You actually you went 1 of 4 in your bold predictions, correct? Just quickly
yes,
recap.
I had Trevor Lawrence being top 10.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. And then outside of that, everything was wrong. I was wrong all the way around. Bad. I had the fucking Packers and Titans in the Super Bowl this year. So I mean, I was just, so far out on a limb. I don't know how it was holding my weight. But we'll run through what happened this past wild card round if you're ready, Josh.
Yeah, rock and roll.
All right. So we'll start things off with the San Francisco 49ers, who defeated the Seattle Seahawks 41-23. This looked like it was going to be one hell of a game, actually, in the first half. It was surprising how the Seahawks were able to keep the 49ers at bay for the first 2 quarters, but then the 49ers showed them and all of the Seahawk faithful that they have absolutely no business being in the playoffs. Brock Purdy, I'm calling him the playoff darling of this year. He threw 3 TDs to 3 different receivers, and he even ran one in for
Yep.
himself. I mean, the guy is just he's must
Doing it
watch,
all.
must
Doing it all.
watch. Um, and like I said, Brock Purdy, pretty damn good. The Jacksonville Jaguars, this was a shocker. Oh, sorry, Josh. Did you have anything to add for the 49ers Seahawks game, or any thoughts there
No,
on Brock Purdy and co?
no, but I mean, that game made me feel really comfortable in me having them going to the Super Bowl just because
True.
of the adversity. I mean, they're trailing at half. They've got a rookie quarterback. They came out
Mhm.
and blew Seattle out in that second half and looked like they could blow anybody out in that second half. They look so good. And it's all about coaching, right? Like that system is so good that Kyle Shanahan has built. So anyone can be successful in it. Brock Purdy is obviously way more talented than any other teams gave him credit for,
Damn.
given the fact that every team passed on him 6 or 7 times. So yeah, dude, he's he's legit, and I think there's going to be some off-season moves for San Fran, right? What do they do with Trey Lance? What do they do with Jimmy G? I think Jimmy G is definitely gone, but no, I feel really confident in my having them going all the way to the Super Bowl in my bracket. I think they're the best team in the NFC.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of Trey Lance, real quick, I this is just obviously a side note. I heard that he apparently tweeted something about the
Titans.
the new GM for Tennessee,
Yep.
who is from the 49ers, or I don't know what he did for the 49ers, but
Yeah, I'm
he
not sure what that connection is, but I saw the post and it was very cryptic and it made a
yeah.
lot of people believe like he wants to get out of San Fran and go play for the Titans,
Hey
which
man, Trey Lance in Tennessee, that'd be pretty sweet.
that'd be
I
fun to
could
watch.
totally see that. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be fun to watch.
But Garoppolo, I've told you, I don't want him, which is why the Redskins are going to sign him.
Yeah,
So
100%.
lock that up. He'll be
Lock
playing for
that
the
up.
Burgundy and Gold the beginning of next season, even though it should
Yep.
be Sam Howell. Let's go to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who got the surprising victory against the LA Chargers. 31-30 was your final here, and my God, dude, the Chargers just fucking blew it. They blew a 27-point lead, and they only managed to score 3 points in the second half. Trevor Lawrence looked terrible in that first half, but then when all was said and done, he finished the day with 4 touchdowns to 4 different receivers, and he looked unstoppable.
Yep.
And they only won by 1 point, but down 27-0, quite impressive. You feel like that there's a lot of momentum now for these Jacksonville Jaguars, and obviously after that, just dreadful performance in the second half, that's chalked it up as to one reason, or probably the reason, that the Chargers parted ways with their offensive coordinator soon after that loss.
Yeah, but again, I think Brandon Staley needs a lot of the blame there. I
Oh
don't
no, absolutely. I thought
dude,
he was going to go. I don't.
yeah.
This
I
whole
thought for
getting rid
sure
of
they were going to fire
coordinator
him.
thing, I don't agree with it. I think
I,
you start over.
you you look at the situation that they were in and the plays that were being called, and again, he's the guy that is kind of in charge of running that whole operation, and they were just coming out and bad play calling, throwing on first down when you have that huge lead, giving
Yep.
yourself third and long for no reason. Like they were 3 and out over and over and over again without taking any time off the clock. I mean, they left the door wide open for Jacksonville to come back. And Trevor Lawrence proved to me that he is the real deal. He is going to be a force in the NFL for a long time, whether that's with Jacksonville or not. I personally hope he stays in Jacksonville and kind of rebuilds that franchise that's been a laughing stock for a while now. Um, Even though they were in the AFC Championship back in 2018, like only 4 years ago. So it's very easy to forget that. But I think that,
I completely forgot about that.
yeah, they just don't have. They've never had any like long-term stability in that franchise, and I hope that he's the guy to kind of do it because why not, right? Give
Why the hell not,
Jacksonville a why the hell not? Give Jacksonville a
dude?
break. Throw those
Yeah.
guys a bone. So he's the real deal, and it's going to be exciting to see where his career shakes out.
Yeah, so congrats to the Jacksonville Jaguars, now headed to Arrowhead today to take on the Chiefs. Buffalo Bills got the win, Josh, against the Dolphins, 34-31. Surprisingly close. I mean, just closer than anyone predicted. Let's be completely
For sure.
honest. Nobody, not even Dolphins fans, were giving Miami credit here. Really, my only takeaway from this is, well, I failed to mention it in our notes, but I'm not as confident now about the Bills going all the way. I mean, they're my Super Bowl pick as of last week.
Yeah.
And but man, you let that Dolphins team, Skylar Thompson,
Yeah.
put up 31 points on you in Buffalo. That's not going to slide moving forward in these playoffs. But that Diggs Davis combo there in Buffalo, that is what I'm calling the deadly duo, my friend.
Wow.
That's right. They both exceeded 100 yards receiving. We could see that again. When did they play? Tomorrow against Cincinnati. I really like Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs working together, man. As you know, they're that offense is unstoppable. Now,
Yeah.
can the defense hold on?
Well,
And
the only time that they're really stoppable is when Josh Allen makes mistakes, and he
yeah,
makes a lot of
you're
mistakes.
right. You're right.
Way too many for them to be a true contender in my mind. Until he cleans up his act, they they're gonna struggle because yes, their defense is good, but it gave up 31 to Skylar Thompson,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
That you can't only rely on them. Their rushing attack never looks like it is flowing with their offense. It looks like they run the ball just for the sake of it instead of having it being like a fluent part of what they're trying to do to get down the field. So they make me nervous. Yes, they're loaded with talent. They're as talented as anybody in the league. And Josh Allen is obviously as talented as anybody in the league, but he's got to clean up his act or
Yeah.
else they're in trouble against these top tier teams.
Yeah. It's just disappointing. Really, is all you can
Yeah.
say there. I mean, they should have taken care of business easily there. Yes, they still got the win. Yes, they move on, and you can't be thinking about the previous week's game moving forward. But I mean, a lot of questions. And just on the Dolphins note, man, you and I talked about this after the Bucks lost. What's next for Tom Brady? We both think he should retire, but we didn't even bring up the fact that he could possibly go to Miami, right? He
Totally.
he could replace Skylar Thompson and Tua, whatever. You know what I mean? Nobody knows what the hell's going on, but that position's
Yeah.
up for grabs. Tua should fucking retire. I mean, the guy's had 18 concussions since he was drafted. So
Yeah.
it's probably best he move on. But remember, there was that rumor that started
Mm-hmm.
last offseason about him potentially going to the
Yep.
Dolphins. And wow, how cool would that be, man? The division of the Bills and the Pats, his old division, the AFC
Right.
East, and Brady to Tyreek Hill, and Waddle. I mean, that would be fun.
Insane. Yeah, it would be
So
really, really cool to see. Plus, Giselle took the kids and moved to Miami, so he'd be closer to his kids.
yeah,
Um, yeah, he was gonna be like a part owner of the Dolphins, and then yeah, the whole Brian Flores thing broke, and everything like
true.
fucking blew up in his face. I'm still convinced Bill Belichick had a hand in it, and nothing's come out since, but I'm still convinced. Yeah, I could totally see that. I could totally see him rocking a Miami Dolphins jersey.
Yeah.
I also thought Lamar Jackson would be a great fit down there. I mean, that would be the
Ooh, that'd be
fastest
nice.
the fastest team in NFL history,
Mm-hmm.
but it looks to me like Lamar is staying in Baltimore. So, I think Tom Brady's the next man up. Um, and it would be electric. It would be a lot of fun, a lot of good storylines there to talk about if he went to the Dolphins.
Yeah. I think it makes a lot of sense. It's it's beautiful in Tampa, but maybe a little nicer in Miami.
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
Speaking of beauty, Josh, you were having quite a day when the New York Giants got the win over the Minnesota Vikings in Minneapolis, 31-24. They controlled the entire game. Yeah, it was only a 7-point victory, but you never really felt like the Vikings were ever going to, tie it up or take
Mm-mm.
a lead. It was, the Giants just, they had their fucking foot on their neck and they were just pressing down the entire game. And they wouldn't let him get up. Daniel Jones looked magnificent. He finished the day 24 of 35, 301 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks, and he tacked on 17 carries for 78 yards also. So,
Yeah.
just a tremendous outing for Danny Dimes and the Giants, man. I mean, you must be thrilled right now.
First quarterback in playoff history to throw for 300 and 2 touchdowns and rush for 70. So big accomplishment for him. It's the best game he's ever played. But also Saquon looked great, fucking looking like
Yep.
he came straight out of Madden with those spin moves.
Mm-hmm.
Um, our defense played really well. We shut down Justin Jefferson, which I thought would be a really big problem because our secondary is just not that good. But Kirk Cousins, that sun set on him in the second half. He looked like a total. They looked all right in the first half. That sun went down. Kirk Cousins fell apart, just as I predicted in the lost episode. And yeah, it was a great win. But obviously, we have a much tougher matchup moving forward. But no one expected us to be here. We're playing with house money. This is all free and I'm fucking here for it because I never thought in a million years that we would make it this far. And here we are.
Yeah. I mean, shit, dude. I I did have the Giants making the playoffs, but before the season started. But yeah, the divisional round didn't see this shit coming. So
No,
surprising. But yeah, man, it's nice having a team still alive. And
let's fucking go.
real quick, just on the Kirk Cousins note, I mean, really, I am not. I'm giving the Giants just more credit than I am putting the blame on Cousins. I think
I
overall
agree.
he did enough to win there. I think shame on the Vikings defense for not being able to
Well,
put more
they're awful.
pressure. Yeah, they just and they had the home crowd with them, and they weren't able to utilize any of that and get anything going. So, and I mean, what the fuck? I mean, okay, Cousins, you could put this on him, but it was also just bad play calling. That final play for the Vikings,
So
fourth and
bad.
8, and they throw it for 3 yards. That was definitely something out of a Redskins playbook right there. I have seen that so many
Jim Zorn.
times.
Jim
Oh
Zorn
my
called that play.
God. I was like, wait a second. Cousins he knows he plays for the Vikings now, right? I mean, he's not rocking the burgundy and gold anymore. He's allowed to throw it for 8+ yards, but that's not the reason they lost. I mean, they just again, it was just they were out schemed and out coached by the Giants. So
100%.
congrats to the G-men there. Cincinnati Bengals, they got the win by the skin of their teeth, 24-17 against the Baltimore Ravens. And the Ravens, man, they had a chance here to make things really interesting, but wow, they were at the Cincinnati 1 yard line. They fumbled it. It was returned by defensive end Sam Hubbard for the go ahead touchdown. Actually, yeah, that would have given
Yeah.
the Ravens the lead there.
14
One,
point swing.
I mean, there you go. Some might say that play alone is why Greg Roman got the boot in Baltimore
Could be.
because they were just like, why would you do a quarterback sneak instead of handing it to your running back? I mean, what's his? Is it Dobbins? Is that J.K.
Yeah, J.K.
Dobbins?
Dobbins. And
He
he was playing really well that
he
game,
was
too.
playing really well. I mean, it wasn't like, wow, look at J.K. Dobbins, but yeah, he's your guy. He is your fucking guy. You're on the 1 yard line. Just give it to your run. I mean, he didn't look terrible.
I'm a big fan of the quarterback sneak. I think it works more often than not. I mean, statistically, it is the best play to call. on a 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 situation. But at the goal line, people know about that. Hey, I'm going to take the
Yeah,
ball and
punch
put
it
it
out.
over, and you can
Yeah,
punch it out.
I know.
So that to me is the bigger issue of coaching, where you got to look at it and say, take care of the ball. If you're going to run a sneak, tuck that sucker in and fucking go. You can push people now. You didn't used to be able to do that. So you can line up a couple guys behind you and just plow into the line and have them push you across. And it works. It works so often. Look at the Eagles. The Eagles have done that. I think they've converted like 40 of those this year or some crazy number. So there's no reason why you should be taking the ball, putting it over the line, and just praying that no one punches it out. It was way too easy.
Mhm.
Uh, so yeah, that was the play of the game. That's what really won it for the Bengals, because they kind of struggled all afternoon, and the Ravens just play them well. Again, you talk about a well coached team. Harbaugh has those guys playing so hard every week. So we'll see. I'm there. Like, this Bengals Bills matchup
I
could
know.
go either way, because both teams kind of struggled when
They
we
s-
both
they
thought
they
they would.
squeaked by. They squeaked by to get to this point and give us this rematch that
Yeah,
everyone's ready for.
yeah,
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I still think it's going to be a great game, but
for sure.
and who knows? Maybe it's just that divisional matchup.
That's it.
That's why these games were so close, because these are just these teams know each other so well. They've already seen each other twice, so that may have something to do with it. And we shouldn't read too much into it, but that's what we do here at Brash. We
That
read too
is.
much into everything.
Yeah, we're known for that. Our
Hmm.
attention to detail, especially. Yeah.
Yeah. The Dallas Cowboys, Josh, they got the win. Both of us picked the Bucks. I picked the Cowboys to lose in the middle of the season. I said if they make the playoffs, they're going to lose their first game anyway. Boy,
Same.
I was wrong. I was wrong. Stand corrected. Dak Prescott goes from looking like complete trash against the Commanders in week 18 to looking absolutely stellar against the Bucks in Tampa. 25 of 33, 305 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. He also tacked on 7 carries for 24 yards and 1 rush TD. So that's the Dak that got that big fat contract. And Tom Brady, he threw the ball 66 times in this one. 66 times. I mean, come
You're
on.
not you're not going to win if you do that.
You got to mix it up a little bit. Maybe that's why
Yeah.
Byron got the boot, because they're
Yeah.
like, really? That was your game plan? To have old man Jones over here throw it 66 fucking times? Uh, and he did. Tom Brady looked like old man Jones,
Yeah, he
and
did.
he should call it a career, as we talked about before, but he won't. He won't. He's not. He's not. Um, now, wait a second. We had a friend. I said Tom Brady would retire. You said Aaron Rodgers would retire, but it is right now. It's looking more like Rodgers probably than it is Brady.
Yeah,
But
I just don't think I think Tom Brady cares about football so much more than Aaron
he
Rodgers
does.
does.
He
Rodgers
does.
doesn't give a shit about this game. Look at the way he prepares for every season. He's not in preseason shit. He's out doing ayahuasca in the desert or whatever. So, and that's fine. That's good for him. He would rather host Jeopardy than fucking, you know, hang out with his boys, but I just don't. Yeah, I don't know. The Rodgers thing is totally up in the air, and I really feel like Brady's going to play until they have to cart him off the fucking field, because he just cares about it so much. And I think if you put him in a situation like Denver, I'm sorry, not Denver, San Francisco or Miami, um, where, dude, you don't have to throw it more than 10 yards downfield to have an incredible season and to win games, then I think he could do it forever, where it's just pre-snap reads and short throws and occasionally going over the top, which he can do. Nobody takes better care of themselves than Tom Brady. So I think he's going to play for another like 3 or 4 years. I think he'll try and
Wow.
get to. I think he'll try and get to 50.
All
That is
right.
my prediction. Tom Brady is going to try and be the first and probably only ever 50-year-old quarterback in the NFL.
I'm now like 90% sure we'll see him again next season. I
Yeah.
don't think it'll be for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
No.
I mean, we threw out the Vegas thing too. That'd be an interesting one.
I could see him in Vegas.
But I really, Miami just makes so much
Makes a
more
lot of
sense.
sense. It makes a lot of sense. I could
They
totally
look
see
more
that.
they look more Super Bowl ready, and I think that is
Yes.
a good selling point. Plus those weapons.
Those
I mean,
weapons.
yes,
Those
Devontae
weapons.
is in Vegas, but
Think about this. Do you think he could talk Gronk out of retirement to go play in Miami?
well, of course he could.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
dude. I mean, Miami is such a Rob Gronkowski town. You just get him down there, be like, dude, party 6
Mhm.
days a week, show up on Sunday. I don't give a shit. Nobody would. Just show up and be tall and just fucking catch balls when I throw them to you.
Yeah.
I could totally, that would be fucking wild. And then you've got the three-piece, just unstoppable machine going down the field. So I'd love to see that.
Yeah, love to see it. And again, having them play the Bills twice
Oh,
and the
so
Pats
good.
twice. I mean,
So good.
you know what Roger Goodell would be doing. We
Oh
all
yeah,
know.
we all know. We don't need to get graphic here, but
No,
we all
let's
know.
just say there would be no pants involved for Roger
No,
Goodell
a
if
lot
that
of
were.
dirty socks in the Goodell household.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, a filthy, sweaty situation. Let's we already filled out our brackets last episode, so it makes
Yes.
our divisional round pick'ems a little easier, Josh, but let's go through it real quick. We'll start off with the game that's first on the ballot today at 4:30 Eastern time, 3:30 your time, Josh. The Jacksonville Jaguars headed to Arrowhead to take on the Chiefs. Chiefs, of course, coming off of a nice rest, getting ready for this one. And Jaguars coming off of that huge win where they just smoked the Chargers in the second half and surprised the world to get that victory. Chiefs currently favored by 9.5 at the moment, and the over-under at 53. So I mean, trust me, dude. I would love to see the Jacksonville Jaguars get the win here. And I did this, the Jags, they broke my bracket because I had the Chargers not only beating the Jags, but then upsetting the Chiefs and making it to the AFC Championship. So now it's fucked everything up. I got to go with.
Yeah, I would have given the Chargers serious thought in this game because they've played each other twice and they've been very close games. And those divisional matchups, you never really know. But I think the Chiefs take care of the Jags pretty easy today.
Ooh.
I don't know if they cover the 9.5. They're not great at covering spreads, and that's a pretty big number for the playoffs. But I think a really safe bet would be like a Kansas City first half spread coverage
Yeah, there you go.
because it's probably like 5 points. And I could see this game easily being Andy Reid's had 2 weeks to prepare, so they're going to come out and get a ton of points right off the bat. And then they're going to let their feet off the gas because they usually do. Then the Jags do their second half thing like they did last week. Come back, make it a game.
Mhm.
I think the Chiefs win by a touchdown or so, possibly two, but somewhere depending on how much time is left for the Jags to claw back in it. I think there's a lot of garbage time points. So I love the over. I love the first half spread for the Chiefs. And I think the Jags keep it closer. Like we look at the score afterwards and go, oh, it was kind of a close game when it really wasn't. When on the field, you could tell the Chiefs were in control the whole time. That's how I think this is going to go down.
Yeah, I agree. I love the over 53, but I don't like that line. I 9.5.
Agreed.
That's too much, Bob.
Too many.
That's too much.
Too many points. Don't like it.
All right, Saturday night football on Fox. This is one. Here you go, Josh. Get ready. You're going to be
I might be watching.
Sweating,
I might be watching.
Sweating once again because the New York Football Giants still in it. They're headed to Philly Philly also coming off a nice rest. They are favored by 8 points at home. Over under on that one is 48. Ah, man. I mean, I know when we filled out our brackets last week that you had this matchup and you had the Eagles, but I have a feeling you might have tweaked it a little bit after the Giants pulled off of the win last weekend. You know, man, again, here we go. Divisional matchup. Anything can happen. I do think the rest will help the Eagles here. I do think the home field advantage will help the Eagles here. I think Jalen Hurts is just going to be ready to fucking roll. And I think the Eagles get the win. But again, if the Giants win, it won't be a shocker to me. I won't be stunned. I'll be like, okay, because I think it'll come down to the wire. I don't like the 8 points. And I do like the under 48 points. I think it'll be a low scoring game, all things considered, especially with how things have been going so far these playoffs. But I like the Eagles getting the win here at home against the Giants, but still there's no real loss for the Giants and their fans at this point.
So if you look at the number 1 seeds last year, they both came off of that bye and they both lost.
Ooh.
The Packers and Titans.
All right.
They both lost in this round. Sometimes the rest does not outweigh the momentum, right?
That's true.
Unless you're the Chiefs. The Chiefs are historically great in this category. For whatever reason, they just do great
with
after
Andy
a bye.
Reid. Andy Reid.
Because Andy Reid's the fucking man, and they have the best quarterback in the world. Now, the Eagles, that week 18 matchup, the Giants played them tough with their second stringers. Then the Eagles, so they don't have the momentum. They go into the bye. Yeah, they're getting healthy, but they don't have any momentum. I could see this game going either way. I think you can go ahead and flip a coin now and make your pick because the Giants are going to play them tough. Now, they are going to be tired. I think 5 out of the last 6 games have been on the road for the Giants. So that does start to take its toll eventually. But, dude, you could fucking hop on a bus and be from New York to Philly in 2 hours. So I'm not as concerned than as if they were going to like San Francisco. I think it would be a fucking rout. But I think you can flip a coin here. And I don't, I picked Philly before we filled this thing out. I'm feeling way more confident in the Giants now than I was. But I still think it could go either way. So I'll take the Giants, obviously, because I'm rocking the Danny Dimes shirt, and I'm just feeling great about it. But it's a coin flip. Go ahead, flip that coin. Also, anytime it's a coin flip, take the 8 points, right? Or take the money line the other way because you're getting value.
Yeah.
If it's a 50-50.
Yeah, it is definitely a coin flip. It's going to come down to, and I said it before, I'll say it again. Whichever team makes the most mistakes, it will lose this game. So
I agree.
Whoever wins the turnover battle wins this game.
And this also could be a game of who has the ball last, right? Like it could easily come down to that too.
Yep.
Who gets the ball last?
You're right.
We don't know. Flip a coin. So great game though.
One thing is for sure. I think both these games today are going to be fucking awesome. I'm pumped up.
Me too, man.
All right. The Sunday games start off with our day game. We're finally getting it. It's going to happen. We talked about it. It's going to be a heart stopper. The Cincinnati Bengals headed to Buffalo to take on the Bills finally.
2 weeks in a row, you deleted the episode, then you came back with the same joke. I love it, man. That's so good.
That's so good. That's what the game is. This is what it's the heart stopper. I mean, and again, we make fun. That's what we do here in Brash, okay? And look, we know DeMar Hamlin. He's recovering. He's doing well. Yeah, I'm sure he'll be at the fucking game. So definitely. Yes, if it had taken a turn for the worst, you wouldn't be hearing these type of jokes, okay? Not even on Brash Sports. So, but hey, that's not what happened. DeMar's, he's ready to go. He's fired up. He won't be on the field, but I'm sure he'll be there watching closely. Bills, Bengals in Buffalo. Bills currently favored by 5.5. Over under on this one is 49. I'm sticking with the bracket that I filled out as best I can. So I did have this rematch happening, and I do have the Bills getting the win at home against Cincinnati. Again, gonna expect a great game. Expect it to come down to the wire. We might see a little overtime in this one. I just think the Bills get the better of the Bengals in this particular matchup, and I honestly do believe that. But then again, maybe that's because they're at home. If this were in Cincinnati, I might have a different opinion. But this matchup, I like the Bills.
Yeah, I, I'm going to roll with my pick as well. Roll with the Bengals, but the thing that concerns me the most is their offensive line. They're dropping like flies, and Buffalo can put the pressure on, right? So that makes me a little nervous. Their O-line was awful last year, though, when they made that playoff run. So I'm not totally bailing on Cincinnati, but it's going to be a really tough matchup. And
Yeah.
I was going to predict overtime in this game, so I'm glad you brought it up because I think that this is going to go back and forth. You can't count Joe Burrow out. The man is as clutch as it gets. So even if he is struggling, if he's getting sacked a lot, whatever, they just need to depend on a couple Josh Allen turnovers, get the ball back, get Joe Burrow down the field
Yep.
with those weapons and send him to overtime. And I think at that point, whoever has the ball last, that's just it, right? I think
Yeah.
it's very similar game, but man, we are in for some good football. I
Yeah.
cannot fucking wait.
We
It's
sure
gonna be an
are,
awesome
man.
game.
All right. Cool. And last one. It's our Sunday night game. The Dallas Cowboys still alive, but now they're headed to San Francisco to take on the 49ers, who you have as your NFC champion, potentially. They are
Yeah.
currently, those 49ers are currently favored by 4 points against the Cowboys. 46.5 is your over under here. Prescott looked fantastic last weekend against the Bucks. Can he repeat that performance against a much better 49ers defense? I don't think so. But I've been wrong many times before. But I just don't see him having back-to-back performances on the road. And let's be honest, the Bucks only made the playoffs because their division is dog shit. Okay, they're I mean they like the Seahawks. They had no business being in the fucking playoffs. So 49ers, on the other hand, they are true Super Bowl caliber. You know, they're a Super Bowl caliber team.
For sure.
They still, they had Brock Purdy, which again, that's just a story in itself. But just goes to show how fucking good they are. They can throw in a Mr. Irrelevant and still blow teams out. I just, Kyle Shanahan scheming against the Cowboys. He's gonna have a fucking day. I love the 49ers here, and it's great too because last year we got to see the 49ers knock out the Cowboys. They were the underdog. Now they're going to do it as the favorite. It's a shame it's not happening in Dallas, so we can't see all the Cowboys fans cry, but
There will be
still.
plenty of them out there. We can see
That's
them
true.
cry in other
That's
places.
true. That's true.
Um,
They'll be showing them. I'm sure the camera guy will find them.
oh, yeah.
There's one. So
Um,
I love the 4 points and over under 46.5. You know what? I like the over. I like over, and I like the 49ers to win by at least 4 points.
Yeah, I agree. This game to me is like a 31-24 type game. San Francisco covers. Dallas does all right to hang around, but I saw a great stat of all of Dak's starts this year. He's never had back-to-back good games all season. He doesn't have
There you
back-to-back
go.
good games.
There you go.
Last week he played the game of his life, and
Dude,
he
he looked
looked
great.
like a
He
he
looked
looked
great
like a
last week.
top 5 quarterback. I
Yeah.
was like, who the fuck is this guy?
I wasn't expecting that shit.
Me either. Like, I know he's good. There's no doubting that. But he looked as good as anybody else in the league. It blew my mind. And so, yeah, someone brought up the fact, like, yeah, great, he does that occasionally. He has not had back-to-back good games all season. His stats are a roller coaster. So I could see him struggling. Go figure. On the road, best defense in the NFL, a coach that just can scheme better than anyone else. I think it is the 49ers, and I think they win pretty convincingly. And Dallas has to look at things and go, all right, are we good with our coach? Are we good with everything that we've got here? I don't know. I think they stick with McCarthy, even if they lose. But it's going to be interesting in Dallas. I just love seeing them lose, and I really hope it happens tomorrow night. The other thing to add, Dallas just played Monday night. San Francisco played in the first game last week. So they've got like an extra 2.5 days of prep and rest than Dallas. So something that like I haven't heard talked about a lot, but that's kind of a big deal, don't you think?
I mean, absolutely, especially considering the Cowboys have to travel to.
They have to go back out, right? So San
Yeah.
Francisco
No, you're absolutely
played at
right.
home, didn't have to travel, finished their game up Saturday afternoon, and then Dallas had to go on the road Monday night and now has to go on the road again. I think that's a pretty big factor.
If the Cowboys beat the 49ers in San Francisco, dude, then I'll be fucking worried. I know, duh, then they're only 2 wins away from, hoisting the fucking trophy, but that will shock me. If they can go into San Francisco and beat this 49ers team, I'll be stunned.
Yeah, I think the biggest shock of the weekend would be Jags upsetting the Chiefs. Second biggest would be Dallas upsetting the 49ers. Because I think Cincinnati, Buffalo could go either way, and I think the Giants, Eagles could go either way.
All right. Well, we shall see what happens, but
we shall see.
We have to do it. We got to put a parlay together for this divisional round.
We got to put our money where our mouths are.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to change things up a little bit. It's not our usual parlay style or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Format. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. Consolidated. This is the lost episode.
One day it'll come out. It'll come out.
Yeah, exactly. One day when we're rich and famous, you can look back and laugh and laugh. We're gonna take these 4 games. We're making money line picks, and then we're taking an under and an over, and that will get us to our 6 picks, $6 pickup sticks. So we decided on well, first let's get these out of the way. Kansas City Chiefs, we both got them beating the Jaguars. The money line on that, I don't have the odds in front of me because I only see the
minus 500.
Minus 500. Okay.
Yeah. So I was thinking old format. I'd go, you go, I go.
Well, sorry, dude, because this is kind of a team. This is a
team effort.
This is a team effort.
I like it. All right, so they're minus 500.
And then the 49ers money line, we're both going with the Niners beating the Cowboys. Money line on odds on that one, Josh?
Minus 230. I threw it in the chat.
Oh, you did. Minus
210.
Sorry, 210. You did throw that one in the chat. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you only threw 3 in there. I don't know.
Well, again, the format. I thought
you
would take those 3.
I told you, we're doing a different format, all right?
It's all right. It's
divisional round parlay.
I think we'll be ready.
We'll be ready.
We just throw this episode in the trash. How about
just because of this parlay? I think that
another lost episode.
Editors Union's going back on strike. So there they go.
The picket line is forming.
They've had enough. All right. So the Chiefs money line, 49ers money line, and then our last 2, we decided to split it. We're going with the New York Giants over the Eagles. with your pick. That money line odds
+3
is what, Josh?
+300 for
Plus
my
300.
guys.
I like it.
Got to
And then
roll with them.
the Buffalo Bills beating the Bengals. We're again splitting our picks. That is at a -265 for the money line there. So those are our 4 money line picks for the divisional round. And then over under, I feel really good about our overs.
Yeah.
Over, we both agreed on the over for the Kansas City Jacksonville game, over 53 at -109. And then under, we both were in full agreement with this one too, with the Giants and Eagles.
Giants Eagles under 48 at -112 is maybe the bet of the weekend.
There you
I
go.
think. Yeah.
So what do we got, Josh? When we put it all together and put our $6 on it, what are we looking at?
It is $6 to win $191.36.
Yeah, that's perfect, man.
So
That's
there we go.
pretty good. That's a pretty solid payout.
It's usually about what our other parlay
Yeah.
is, maybe a little lower, but because we don't have 2 dogs, we only have 1 dog, but it's a pretty big dog, plus 300. So
there's another dog.
There's another big dog right there, just going full spread eagle, getting that butthole on camera.
He knows the episode's coming to a close here, so this is what he likes to. He likes to sprawl out.
Oh, dude, I'm about to get in that very same position and take a nap. I can't wait.
Oh, I'm so fired up about these games, and plus I've had so much coffee that there's no way I couldn't nap if I wanted to. But
dude, yeah, I am on cloud 9 right now, getting to watch the Giants tonight. Dude, it's gonna be fun.
Hell yeah! Awesome. All right, well, cool, buddy. That's it. There's episode 21 of season 2 in the books. We'll see how things go, and we'll see if we hit this parlay, and we'll be back for the conference championships next week.
Fuck yeah, buddy. All right, let's get after it.
All right, my friend. Talk to you later.
Peace.